Yeah, Jonathan Leto is telling us that out of plan, out of business. Write that everywhere. You can even do it as your profile. Out of plan, out of business. Those who know how to make flyers and the rest can make such flyers. Out of plan, out of business. That's why we start with the plan. I told you some of us made mistakes in the past, but we got to understand later that the greatest mistake we were doing is we were engaging the market without a plan. And since we realize that plan is key, we have been following the plan to this date, and things changed for us. When you have a plan, plan will tell you the number of trades to take. Plan will tell you the maximum risk per trade. Plan will tell you what you are going to win in relation to what you are going to lose earlier. Plan will tell you where to enter the market, where to exit the market, how to enter the market, how to exit the market. Plan will also tell you what happens if there is news. Plan will tell you what happens if you are carrying trade to the next day. So plan entails so much. Musau switch. I don't know Musau has done what. Now let's continue. Let me share the screen. I've not shared my screen. Probably you are wondering that you have not shared your screen. Let me share immediately. Just inform us that we are coming to Mombasa. Make sure that if you're in Mombasa, we are coming to Mombasa. We'll be there for 5 days, starting from Friday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So we'll be leaving Mombasa on Wednesday. So if you're within Mombasa, you want to meet with us, purpose to attend, come with friends, bring people to learn Forex. Let's build a republic of traders. Okay, now I will probably share. Let me see. Yes. So this is where we reached with the plan. Those who are asking, how do I place the stop loss? We cover that and we are going to do it practically. So all of us take a picture of this so that we will be going step by step. Take a picture of this because we are going to follow that step by step or one step at a time. Okay. So take a picture of that. We are going to follow step by step. Okay. Now, let's go to the market and I believe, have we all taken the picture of that? The part of the plan is very, very important. Are we all there, or I should give us a minute also to do that? Do that very fast. Let's do that very, very fast. Okay. Now, we can start. I think we are good to go. Okay. So I'm going to use one area to illustrate how to take a trade following the plan. And let's work with this day, 12th of March. So the first instructions on the plan, remember you do everything according to the plan, from how you enter the trade to how you break even to how you adjust the trade. So I'm just going to show us a practical example on how to execute a trade, do a stop loss, and have a take profit. So the first instruction on the plan is to ensure your chart is always on M15. Ensure your chart is always on M15. Is the sound okay? Thumbs up if the sound is okay. Thumbs up if the sound is okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for confirming. Thank you for confirming. So the first thing is to ensure that your chart is on M15. Here on top is where you change time. You can do M5, M15, M30. When I say M15, it means every candle, you're seeing this red and the green. It means if it's M15, every candle forms after 15 minutes. This is 15 minute, 15 minute, 15 minute. So basically that is what we mean by M15. When I do H1, it means every candle will be forming after 1 hour. If I say daily, it means one candle every day. So we select these times because if you want to trade within a day, you have to trade 1 hour and below. If you want to trade at least for 3 days to maybe a maximum of a month, you can do H4. And if you want to trade for probably months, okay, so you will have to deal with day one, weekly one. And if you want to be a position trader who can trade for maybe 2, 3 years, or even up to 10 years, you can consider weekly and monthly. But now for our concern, because it's to make money on daily basis on of a short time, we focus on M15. So you ensure that the first instruction of the plan is that ensure your chart is on minute 15. That is one. So here, am I on minute 15? Yes. Step number 2, wait for the market to either touch the stop and high or the stop and low. So this is what we are calling the stop and. Those who are joining us for the first time today, these white box are the ones that we are calling the stop and. This box on top, we call it stop and high. The box below, we call it stop and box low. Remember, we only focus on these white boxes. Every day you will have stop and high and stop and low. Those with the phone, it is so easy because we'll just be giving you price points to mark. So you'll be doing it on your phone. I'll be doing a short video on the same so that those who are using the phone will eventually understand what to do. So if the market touches stop and high, we sell. If it touches stop and low, we do what? We buy. Very, very simple. Stop and high, sell. Stop and low, buy. So you see this market. The market went and got to the stop and box high. So on the stop and box high, you look for opportunity to sell. If probably it could have touched the stop and box low, you look for opportunity to buy. Remember, in Forex, your concern is to find areas to buy or areas to sell. So for this case, the market touched the stop and high, confirming to us that we are now ready to sell. But now, where exactly should I sell? So the next point on the plan is telling us that wait for the market to either touch stop and box high or stop and box low. If it touches the high, such box high, sell. Now for this case, it has touched the high, we are going to sell. But where exactly am I going to sell? That is the next question. So you have to look for what we call a reversal candlestick pattern. So we have reversal candlestick patterns that confirm sell, and we have reversal candlestick patterns that confirms buy. So this is one of the reversal candlestick that confirms sell. You see this one at the stop and you have these two candles. Those who are joining us for the first time, this candle is called, these two candles are called what we call bearish inside. A sell candle is small, a buy candle which is green is big. So when the bearish is inside the bullish, we call that bearish inside or bearish harami. That's why in our plan, we have mentioned that you have to look for a reversal candlestick pattern as your entry confirmation. So yes, I'm at the stop and box, but what gives me a confirmation is a reversal candlestick pattern for sell. And I only gave 3 for buy, 3 for sell. So this is one of them. We have this bearish inside, confirming a sell. So immediately after you have the candlestick confirmation, take the trade on the next candle. Once the next candle opens, you take a trade immediately. So after this, after it was 15 minutes, imebakisha 1 minute, when the 1 minute ends, immediately the candle closes. 15 minutes has ended. The next one starts. Once as the next one begins, enter the trade immediately. Then do a vertical line on that area where you are entering a trade. Let's do a vertical line. Now we'll have entered on that candle. See that in orange, you can even make it a bit thicker. So immediately after the reversal candle, you see us entering the trade on this next candle. So you say that is my entry. You can do our entry to be blue. So I entered immediately after the bearish inside. So the bearish inside closed. The next candle, I enter the market. So that is your entry point. How do I do my stop loss? I mentioned this earlier today, but I'm repeating the same. So remember, you are speculating that the market is going to go down. But remember, we are operating in a probabilistic environment, whereby you can say the market is going down and it starts going up. It means when it's going against you, you are losing. So you have to predetermine how many pips or how much am I going to lose in terms of dollars. So that depends on where you place your stop loss. So Where do I place my stop loss? According to the plan, read the plan. The plan tells us that place your stop loss above or below the stop hand box. Place your stop loss above or below the stop hand box. So for this case, this is the stop hand box and we are selling. If the market buys, we are losing. So the plan is telling us, do your stop loss above the stop hand box. So this is where the stop hand box is. But now it is asking us to add at least 5 to 7 pips. But for JPY, I will recommend just add 7. Add 7 pips above the stop and box. So this is the highest point or the highest point of the stop and box. Add 7 pips above it. So from that point, probably you just measure 5 pips above the stop and box, or 7 pips, which is around that point, 149.21, 149.21, around there, or 22. That is where you should place your stop loss. So you have entered here on this candle, believing that the market will go down. But in case this market decides to go up, you are willing to lose up to that point. Now, when you do the calculation, you will understand the number of pips. If you measure pips, you realize that my stop loss from here to the above the stop and box after adding 5 pips is around 26 pips. Okay. So if my stop loss is 26 pips, I should be targeting 3 times as a profit. So if it is 26, I'm going to lose 26 pips. So my pips should be 3 times of that. Okay. That one will be 78. Okay. So I'm risking to lose 26, but I'm targeting 78. So I'll come and measure 78. Where is 78? You measure 78 is somewhere here at 148.18. So 148.18, come and do your take profit here. 148.18. Somewhere there. Yes. So that is where you are targeting to exit that market. So once you do that, you can go and do other things. So it's either the market will get to your stop loss or it will get to your take profit. Very, very important. So this is now the market. You entered here. Again, it went to this point, tried to pull back above where you entered at some loss, but it never got to your loss. Continued again down, continued down, continued down, continued down, pulled back up, continued down, continued down. Eventually, it got to your take profit within this region. So it means you exited with a profit. But remember, as market is moving towards your direction or your intended direction, there is how to break even. But I will not touch on break even again now because it will confuse us. I want us to first get what I've done. If my stop loss is 25, take profit should be 3 times of that. If my stop loss is 30, take profit will be 90. If my stop loss is 10, take profit will be 30. But remember, on JPY, stop loss should not be less than 20 pips. That one is also on the plan. Your SL should not be less than 20 pips when trading USD JPY. Always your stop loss should be above 20 pips. So if I may ask, if my stop loss is 20, what will be my profit? What will be my take profit? Tell me down there on the chat. Yeah, 60 gems. Let's all answer. If my stop loss is 20, how many pips will I be texting? Anthony Kinyanjui, very consistent guy. Even Juju, we have been with you from day one. Ian, Fenina, Mutisia, even Fenina, you have attended all the classes. Elvis Nyeroge, Mary, Evelyn Jerry, Rosemary, Faith, Joshua Mwema, Osheru, John, Joy Marks, Adeline, Regan, Naomi Gitau, Micheni Gitonga, Sofia Kaega, Gerald Mwai, Ian Muruki, David Mwangi, Gracia, Chiru, Agri Mombo, George Mushoro, Eric Agola, Leon Zinza, John Muchori, Regan, Steve, Tanui Titus, John Mushori, Mambo Idi, John Mushori. Hey, John, you are answering so many times. Alan Jack, just do once. George, Belinda, Ann Kamau, Eunice Ngoro, Lazarus, Keziah. Yeah, 60 pips. To that point, how many have understood by the first example? I'm going to do the second example. How many are saying Zito do at least a second example? Just type down there second. Maybe do another one, can just type second, yeah, Fenina second, Scott second, second. Yeah. Ian Mruki, Titus Tanui, Alan Jack. Okay, let's do a second example. Let's do a second example on how to execute a trade again. This time, probably we can consider, probably, let me look if there's a setup that go to our stop loss. It will also be very, very okay for us to consider that. But again, we can still do the same. We look for a setup that probably got to for a stop loss because most of them are wins. So let me look for a losing trade. But you don't believe that you'll always win all the time. Well, we do one win and one loss. Let's do one more win. Okay. Again, let's do 4th of March. The first step of the plan is telling you ensure your chart is on minute 15. Tick. Step number 2, plan is telling me to either wait for the market to touch the stop and box high or to touch the stop and box low. So for this case, it touched the stop and box low. So it's either the market touching the high or the market touching the low. So for this case, the market touched the stop and box low. After that, look for a reversal candlestick pattern. So for this case, those who have not learned the candlestick, I'll be recapping candlesticks again, maybe during London session, because we have requested that I conclude on this. So we had a candlestick pattern called bullish engulfing here, or the 3 is called morning star, still confirming a buy. So immediately at the stop and box, what is giving me an entry confirmation? Because the plan tells me if you find yourself at the stop and box low, look for candles that confirms buy. If you find yourself at the stop and box high, look for candles that confirms sell. So if I'm at an area of buying or an area of selling, I should know at what exact point should I buy. And that is now brought in by the candlesticks confirming to you that. So at that point, we have these 3 candles. They are called morning star. They always confirm a buy. So immediately after the morning star, take a trade. Once this morning star, once this candle, remember every candle is after 15 minutes. So dakika ya 14, when 15 ends, this candle stops immediately and the next one starts. So when the next one starts, enter the market immediately. So enter the market on the next candle after the morning star. So this one now after the reversal candle, enter the market immediately on that candle. And now take that to be your entry. So this is where I've entered this market, believing that now because it touched the stop and box low, I'm going to buy. So, but in case it starts selling, I also have to ensure that I predetermine prior, what am I going to lose? So come and set your stop loss below the stop and box and add minimum of 5 pips, at least 5, but I recommend 7. So 5 to 7 pips, depending on their broker, but I recommend 7 pips. So from that point, that is the low. That outside the stop and box, add 5 or 7 pips below it. Below that white box, ensure you go down for like 7 pips, which is somewhere here at 148.016, 148.016. So 016. So 01 here. That is 01. So 01 is there. So that is where you do your stop loss. Umejiambia, that is where below the stop and box, I have added at least, below the stop and at least few pips on the same. You think that this red one is where you want to stop the market in case the market doesn't follow your plan. Remember, you are targeting to do what? You are targeting to enter a buy. And in case the market starts selling, you want to stop the loss just below the stop and box. You have added 5 pips below or 7 pips below the white box. That is where you want to stop the loss. That's why you call it stop loss, because it's now going against my speculation. This is where I want to stop this loss. Okay, so that is your entry point on blue, stop loss on red. So I've entered here on this candle, but saying that in case this market fails to go up and it pulls down, I want to exit at that given point. I will also measure to ensure that it should be more than 20 pips. That one is captured on the plan. So if you get to understand how this was a clear 20 pips. So you set your profit 3 times the stop loss. So the stop loss was 20, set your take profit at 60. So you'll come and do this. So take profit should be somewhere there, 3 times your stop loss. 60 pips. Let's come and measure 60 from my entry. This is where I entered. Once you do that, you can go and do other things. It is basically
Excuse Mzito.
to 148.81.
Excuse Mzito.
Yes.
Come again there. Unaweza rudia kidogo hapo.
Wapi exactly?
Hapo kwa kupima kwa take profit.
I know most of us are wondering, Mzito anajua aje hii ni 20 pips. Anajua aje hii ni 30 pips, because we are not familiar with how to use MT4. But if you're having your laptop, those are some of the things we'll be guiding you. Unakuja tu unachukua, you'll be taking this cross sign here. Tap on the line where you entered. You don't have to calculate. That is the easiest part of this. And just drag. So you'll see in the middle probably showing you 606. Okay. Or exactly is what? It's 601. Ignore the 1 and read that as 60 pips. So you take the cross, tap the line where you have entered the market, hold and drag. If you have the mouse, just tap and hold your mouse, continue. If I measure probably to that point, you see I have, are we able to see? Tell me how many pips are those, if you are able to see. How many pips are those? Especially the person who has asked that question. Well, are we able to see, or it's too small? But it's visible. It's 2013. So you ignore the last digit, which is 3. So it means it is 201, correct? Scott 201, Ian 201, yes. That is how to read pips. If I measure my stop loss, you realize that that point is 204. 204, if you ignore the last digit, is like 20 pips. Okay? 204. So ignore the 4, read that as 20 pips. So the stop loss is 20 pips. The take profit is 3 times the stop loss, 60 pips. Any questions so far, or any area maybe where you feel you are a bit confused? I can still. For that, I will allow you to unmute your mic. You can unmute. Yes, let's take questions. Yes, Mother.
I have a question concerning the. Does it mean now that we are using the stop and that we only take trades after 11?
There is no that condition on this. You don't trade past 11 p.m., but you can take trade as early as when the market touches the stop and box.
I was asking like that because
in
most cases the stop and is issued at 11. We don't have it before 11.
Yeah, so you will not have that. Now you have the correct answer. I mentioned that earlier, that stop and box always appear from 11 a.m. So it means we can only trade after 11 a.m. when the stop and is out. The stop and is always revealed after the Asian session has ended. So when the London starts, the market will present the stop and box. That's why I have not even bothered mentioning that you should trade as from 11 a.m. No, you just trade when the stop and box appears, and it appears at 11 a.m. But now, yes.
Vito, I have a question.
Yes, sir. Continue.
Oh, I was asking,
Yes.
I can see this strategy of stop hunt. You are not getting into 1 hour time frame like the other one. You used to go fast 1 hour, and then you change to the lower time frame, right?
Yes. Okay, that's not getting the question. So the truth is that every strategy have its own model of doing it. Now for this stop and box, you don't go on H1. There's how to trade stop and by first starting on H1. There's even how to trade this stop and box in line with the trend. But now there's how to trade this stop and the way we are doing it, provided you have tested one model that works and you stick to it. So for this case, we don't focus on higher time frame. Our concern is majorly on the market either touching a stop and high or low on the scale. So don't mix it with the other plan. And if I give you the plan again for ICT, it will be totally different. So every strategy has its own plan. So don't maybe mix what we are doing in a different strategy and maybe do it here. It's totally a different thing. Any other question? I'm taking questions now.
Victor,
Yes.
what is the maximum stop loss one can use?
The maximum stop loss should be 50 pips. It should not, I think it should also be captured on the plan. I've not written that, but you can still, maybe let me add that. There are a few things I'm yet to finish with what should be on the plan, but let me just add that. Maybe tomorrow when we get to point number 8, 9, so far we are just at point number 5. Okay. Target 3 times a stop loss. So yeah, that is also a point that I will be adding, and it's there. I will be sending the soft copy of this. So your stop loss should not exceed 50 pips. So SL should not exceed, should not be lower than 20, should not be lower than 20 pips. Those who are writing lower than 20 pips, or should not be below 20 pips. So the stop loss should not be lower than 20 pips, and it also should not exceed, it should not exceed 50 pips. So in any case, if you measure the stop loss is beyond 50 pips, you just do your stop loss as 50 pips. Very, very important. Okay. So I think there are a few things that we'll still be adding on this. There's a lot that we are yet to do. We just capture that because people have been wondering what is the maximum stop loss we can do. The currency we are trading is GBP USD and USD JPY, but now at this time we are going to focus more on USD JPY. Also, another thing that I have not mentioned here is how to break even. I will be giving a plan on how to adjust stop loss accordingly. That is tomorrow during London. But the good part of it is that for the first few classes or few sessions or few days, once the trade confirms, we'll be guiding you fully, telling you if it's time to adjust, because not all of us will master the stop loss adjustment on the same day. So there are people who will be learning as they are still trading, because trading will be easy, provided they know how to place buy and sell. Telling them use this lot size, enter buy, enter sell, do stop loss here, do take profit here. That is the sense behind those people who are helping us to ensure that all of us are doing the right thing. Any other question? I'm taking questions now. I'm taking questions. Just allow me 5 more minutes. If you have a question, you can shoot. Okay. So if there is no question, I'm interested in the break-even part. Yeah, Joshua Mwema, I'll tackle that tomorrow morning and also recap on candlestick. But kindly, guys, let me share the link that touches on candlesticks of the class of September. Iko pale YouTube. Mbona usiwatch? How do we set the stop and box kindly? If you don't have a laptop, it's difficult, but if you have a laptop, Philip will be helping you to do that also, Modoni. If you don't have a laptop, I'll be giving you the stop and box area every day. What is the function of the blue and red arrows on the stop and? Avoid them for now. You don't understand. How will take more than one trade? Ya pili haita affect ya kwanza. We'll be getting there tomorrow also to see on the same. But on the first thing, have you mastered where we are currently? Where do you get the tool for getting number of pips? There's a cross sign here on top here. This is one that will help you. There's this cross. Look like it's a crochet. It's written crochet, or you can do with Control F. Okay, but now it's just crochet on top here on the far left. You will be able to get that. Okay, I'm taking your questions. I'm trying to see the questions. You still have a question? Okay, James Odhiambo, thanks. So having said that, tomorrow the challenge is starting officially. So far, I think about 50 or 40 have already communicated. Over 50 have communicated. That's why there are even people complaining, Philip haujetufikia. He will be doing that tomorrow. You can get stop and box in the Telegram for those asking. Yeah, it's already in the Telegram, and even the video on how to install is also in our Telegram group. How do you set the lines? So the lines, you can ideally take the horizontal lines here. There's a line here called draw horizontal line, draw trend line, do a vertical line. So if you want to do anything with the line, let's say I have a horizontal line, I'll just come tap and tap on the chart, it will appear. If I want to adjust it, I will double tap, then you can drag it in any direction. You can even change the color if you just right click, then go to horizontal line properties, change the color, change the thickness. You can make even as thick as you want, like that one. You see now I've increased the thickness. It's just to double tap, right click, horizontal line properties. You can change the color, you can change the thickness, as simple as that. Okay. Mzito, add me to the challenge group, cancel news group for now kindly. So if you're in the news group, you also want to join the challenge group. And this group is also very important because there's money in news, but it is well. If you're in the news group and you also wish to join the challenge, those are two different things. Because if you already joined the news group, just reach out to Philip. You will see how to do that. It's possible. Can you do challenge with the demo account? No. Ama ni real account. To me, real account. Demo account hauna emotions on demo. That's why we discourage demo. And Forex is purely dealing with your emotions. One thing that will guarantee you that you are a trader is when you are having a real account. That's why we even ask to do as minimum of $5 if you are a student or if you are unable to get to 50. The recommended one is between 50 to 200. But if you can't, just ensure that you have a live account, even if it's for $5 is around 700 Kenya shillings, or $5 is like 10,000 Ugandan shillings, Tanzanian shilling, around 12,000 Tanzanian shilling. And also if you're in Uganda, it's around 18,000. So it's something small. Okay. About the challenge group, tusiache nyuma kindly have reached to him several but no response yet. Just be patient. Kama umesha reach out to Philip, atakufikia tu lazima. Before the London session ends tomorrow, tutahakikisha kila mtu amekuwa admitted. So I'll be finalizing again during the London, then watu waanze kutrade during the New York. Even personally, kama mimi mwenyewe nitakuwa nawashughulikia kesho. So I'll be in charge also tomorrow from afternoon before the New York and very early in the morning to ensure that I also help those who are yet to be added. Okay, kindly share the link to join Telegram. I think Mdhoni, you can share the Telegram link again. BTMM installer in the Telegram group ya ishatumwa. Are the old students paying? You are an old student, Mary. I don't know even you, Mary. When I say old students are the people who have been with us, they are trading every day and they are also helping us to monitor the new students. But if you yourself, you have never traded with us for 2-3 months consecutively, you are not an old student, you are a beginner. So you still have to join the challenge the normal way. That is the Telegram link for those who are asking. So for you to be called an old student, are people like Namudhomi, we have Michael, we have Belinda, there are so many. Yeah, we have Gitonga, those who have journal and they have data of what we are doing and they have been doing it professionally for at least 3 to 6 months. You can tell this person can trade effectively at a personal level. Because for those who have been trading for that time, I would be the one in charge. So having said that, because of time, some of us maybe you are supposed to get to work very early. Thank you for your patience. The video will be shared again in our YouTube page. And tomorrow morning, go through these videos again and again. Tomorrow morning, I will also be, during the London session, I will recap on candlesticks and how to place trade. But meanwhile, watch the videos on the same. Okay? So make sure you repeat this session after the class and try and figure out if there's a question, you will be free to ask. But if you don't watch it, it will become impossible. So watch it now, watch it tomorrow morning, and it will really, really be helpful. Good night. Wish you all a blessed night. Share our poster for Mombasa. I'm posting it in the group. Kindly let's share that poster in all our groups. Mbarikiwe sana.
Mzito,
Yes, madam. Let me stop
Mzito,
the
are you available after this, Ama?
Yes, yes, you can call me if you have something we can maybe discuss. Call me immediately. Those asking